Thanks, Michelle. It's just 24 hours to go until the official crunch moment gets underway. 48% of American voters have already cast their votes through early voting and, of course, through mail-in ballots. So far, that's 75 million votes cast. I want to take a look at the two candidates, and of course, while Donald Trump might be more well-known to South Africans, it's the Democrats' Kamala Harris from California that is a bit of a newer figure. Of course, we know former President Joe Biden, current President Joe Biden, stepped down with just a few months to go after big pressure from his party over the age. So we went through that, and of course we can see that Harris has a CV stacked with the Auditor General in California. She's been a senator for many years. But now I want us to focus on what the candidates are really focusing on over and what they have been pushing. But like I said, 24 hours to go. Over the last weekend, we saw US President, former President Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, really getting his point across and starting to re-drum up those allegations and, of course, concerns that he has around the safety of the voter system. Let's take a listen.
We should have one-day voting and paper ballots. Then I just heard that a couple of states may go an extra 12 days. How the hell do you have an election? You know, they spend all of this money on these damn machines, and paper ballots, you'd have the answer by 9 o'clock tonight. It's a damn shame, and I'm the only one that talks about it.
So while Trump is speaking to his base and the concerns he's pushed for years over the efficacy and in terms of safety and reliability of the US voting system, Kamala Harris has been in Michigan as she's really trying to court Democrat Muslim American voters. And how will she do that? By promising to end the war in Gaza.
This year has been difficult, given the scale of death and destruction in Gaza, and given the civilian casualties and displacement in Lebanon. It is devastating. And as president, I will do everything in my power to end the war in Gaza. To bring home the hostages, end the suffering in Gaza, ensure Israel is secure, and ensure the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, freedom, security, and self-determination.
So before we get into some of the intricacies of the US system and how it differs from South Africa, I want us to take a look at the various party candidates over the years. And it's interesting, of course, because Donald Trump, again, going for his second top job in the White House, he was president before. So 2020 and 2024, Donald Trump has been the Republican nominee. Far back to 2008, 2012, to see the likes of Mitt Romney and John McCain. But of course we know, if you look at the Democrat side, 2016, and this is where it really speaks to the differences between the electoral systems. Hillary Clinton ended up with significantly more votes than Donald Trump. But because of the Electoral College system, which is, as we move on to the next graphic, I want to take a look at explaining that and how that's different. So, of course, the Electoral College, you'll see and you'll hear a lot of it. You'll hear about this first past the 270 vote system. So this is the 2020 election results we've got up here. And you can see that then President Joe Biden, or current president, had 306 of the Electoral College votes out of the 270 needed to win. You can see from the animation on the side, so the Electoral College works in the ways that each state is assigned a certain number of electoral votes. New York there with 29. But if you look at a smaller state like New Mexico, that's just 5 votes. So the various amount of just having like we have here, in terms of South Africans, you cast your votes, whoever has the most votes wins. It is not that way in the American system. So that's another fascinating example. California at 55, and really shows the differences. So you've heard me mention swing states a few times in terms of 5 to 7 key states which normally shape the US election and always decide the outcome. Again, if we can take a look to the 2020 results from those key states, look, that's how Joe Biden made and achieved that route to the office. Look at all those blue. Blue, of course, Democrats. Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, North Carolina, where our colleague Ziyanda Ngobo is, that went to Republicans. So we can really see that those states and the electoral votes really are key in shaping the votes and deciding who wins that US election. So Michelle, we have a lot of coverage going on. We have a lot to look forward to for the viewers. We have teams in US and, of course, teams here in the studio. We've got a lot of US election coverage from the big day tomorrow.
Yeah, very, very exciting. And I suppose the thing that makes it even more exciting, Nick, is that polling still showing that this is a race that is just too close to call.
Yes, we're going to get into some of that tomorrow in terms of the various polling. Again, some comes out one day, a few hours later, we see another poll. But at the moment, momentum, it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah, so you've talked a lot about swing states. That's one big issue. The other big issue is holding the blue line. That'll certainly be the big issue for the Democrats.
Yes, without a doubt so.
All right, Nic Andersen, thanks very much indeed for that really in-depth analysis of the big issues we need to keep in mind when we think all things US elections. The countdown is now well and truly underway. It's the 5th of November tomorrow, but we have already seen around 75 million votes cast thanks to early voting and mail-in ballots. And of course, our team is in North Carolina, including Zianda Ngobo, tracking the big story, making global news.